Bitcoin and Ethereum, I think they could make a monster move in the next 3 months, like huge. Bitcoin is particularly monetary policy liquidity sensitive. Ethereum has elements of being sensitive to liquidity, but it's also part of this AI moving onto the blockchain and Wall Street moving onto the blockchain and that whole stablecoin ChatGPT moment for crypto. So Ethereum, I think, trades almost like 1971 Wall Street, which was the dollar went off the gold standard, a lot of innovation. Ethereum essentially is a growth protocol.
$2 billion flows into crypto, and what the Fed rate cut means for XRP, Doge, Bitcoin, and the entire market might shock you. In today's video, we're breaking down exactly what the Fed rate cut means for crypto and the global markets, why this could be the official start of altcoin season, how XRP goes 2x with the latest ETF, plus we'll look at the massive $8 billion forecast for XRP and all of the other incredibly important stuff that I have found to share with you guys. But as always, welcome back to the channel. I am JR, your favorite crypto dad, coming to you from the 90s lounge where it's like the .com bubble all over again. And you know what to do. Give me a comment, 777 down below. If you're feeling bullish, if you're feeling blessed, you're ready to live your best life, smash that like button, hit subscribe to affirm it, and let's run into it. What does this Fed rate move actually mean for the markets and especially for crypto? And JP Morgan traders weighing in on this one, pointing out that across the board, you're looking at about an 88% chance that we are flat and we don't really see much movement. This is their predictions of either up or down or flat and how much it'll affect the S&P 500. One fact remains is that we are going to see a rate cut. Rate cuts equal the dollar continuing to go down in value. We're seeing 10% down in value just this year alone. We're sitting at a 14-year trend line that shows that we are about to break through support. We'll talk about the charts in a moment here, but what does the Fed rate cut mean for crypto? And we are currently seeing $2 billion in stable coins that poured into Binance right before the FOMC.
A few moments later.
And speaking of stable coins, coming out of Altcoin Pro University, which is our publication, you guys need to jump into the link down below for that. Stick around, I'm going to talk about that one a little bit more. But Circle bringing native USDC to Hyper EVM, which is pretty big news, considering Circle just announced on its official blog that the native USDC and CCTP v2 are now live on Hyper EVM, bringing direct deposits, cross-chain transfers, and new opportunities for builders. Guys, I know that this is exciting, all this stablecoin news, but what you really came here for is to figure out, is altcoin season really still in the room with us? Are we going to see a move based on the Fed move that's going to impact crypto? And in September of 2024, we saw a big positive impact on Bitcoin, Ethereum, altcoin markets surging by over 105% when you exclude those two. And currently we are seeing that altcoins are the most oversold ever. Whale Guru pointing out that this could be a generational opportunity. Other indicators signaling this bullish momentum: rate cuts equal yield rate drops. And we are seeing the rate cut signals popping up here on the Treasury yield, that every time Bitcoin has ripped higher, it's usually coincided with a massive drop in the 20-year Treasury yields. And coming out of Milk Road Macro, we do see the 20-year rate dropping, signaling Bitcoin's next move could be right around the corner. And for all of you out there saying that Bitcoin's going to zero,
never in history, financial history, has anything reached $2 trillion and then disappeared. So we're not, it's a different argument if it was $100 billion.
Okay.
The U.S. government is reiterated its commitment to make Bitcoin a strategic reserve asset. That's not bad for the price of Bitcoin. So if someone is watching this and said, well, they don't understand Bitcoin, so they decide not to own it, it's a catastrophic way to look at market.
we're not going to zero. And listen to what Dan Moorhead has to say.
When you look at the price of Bitcoin right now, since you started there, what do you think it ultimately lands at? And what do you think the window is right now for it?
Oh, you know, I've been saying this for a long time. It's roughly doubled every year for 12 years that we've been doing this. So I think it keeps doing that for at least a few more years. It's still a very low single-digit percentage of global wealth. So I think it could go up to 750,000 in the next 4 or 5 years.
Okay, so you're not in the million camp, though?
Not in the next 4 or 5 years, but in our lifetimes, yeah.
And where are you on Ethereum and Solana?
So I think, you know, Solana is only 1/20th of the market cap of Bitcoin. So I think it can outperform over time. And I think it's our current opinion that it outperforms Ethereum.
In breaking Ripple XRP ETF news, we have an $8 billion forecast to talk about. The Rex Osprey ETF launching tomorrow, September 18th, or today, depending on when you're watching this. And again, you're not late to the game. We've got a few months left in this altcoin season, meme coin season, and crypto bull run, according to Tom Lee and many of the other analysts out there. But I will say we've got a bunch more coming after that, which is in October. We're poised to see a very nice month for October. Also, I will point out that as far as Bitcoin is concerned, Bitcoin is having its best September on record ever. And historically, when Bitcoin has closed out a green bullish September, we have had a massive October to follow. And seeing that we have grayscale for ETFs, as far as XRP ETFs are concerned, we've got grayscale's deadline on 10/18, we got 21 shares on the 19th, Bitwise 10/20, Wisdom Tree 10/20, Canary Capitals on the 23rd of October, CoinShares on the 23rd of October, and Franklin Templeton, obviously we saw that one delayed slightly, but nonetheless setting us up for a very exciting time in the month of October. And if XRP ETF isn't exciting enough for you, Dogecoin ETF launching here in the next couple days. And how does XRP go 2x with the latest XRP ETF news? Check this out.
And then you decide to venture out into cryptocurrency, specifically XRP. What was the thinking there?
Well, we had filed for Bitcoin before, and we do have crypto interests, and I'm an XRP enthusiast. And when I saw the opportunity to file and get it approved, and really not holding XRP itself, but holding the derivatives so that we could leverage it and give investors what they want. They clearly want some leverage. We got a great ticker, double XRP, XXRP, and it took off. It was a big hit immediately, right out the door.
And if you could put on a forecasting hat, as somebody who looks at the fund flows, looks at the industry, where do you think else in the crypto sphere is ripe for even more activity with regard to cryptocurrencies that's outside the realm of XRP, Ethereum, and of course, Bitcoin?
Honestly, I think picking the next coin is harder than people need to catch the wave of what crypto and the blockchain is doing to business. This really is the internet in the 1990s. I think there's a sea change coming, and picking the companies that are going to use whatever cryptocurrency comes next is going to be the big trick and the trick to big wealth.
Do you think that there is going to be an ETF boom in companies in that ecosystem?
No question.
Now for the $8 billion elephant in the room, the liquidity tsunami for XRP, listen to what the CEO of Crypto.com has to say.
I think altcoins that have strong flows will outperform. I don't know if you guys seen this, but there's a forecast saying that the ETF for XRP is going to attract 8 billion of inflows next year. So you can imagine what kind of impact that may have.
Folks, very exciting times ahead for the remainder of Q3, Q4 2025, and we're not even going to get into 2026 just yet. Many people are still trying to figure out what to do with these profits and where to hedge things out. I'm going to encourage you again to jump into that link below for Altcoin Pro University. Stick around a couple more minutes. I've got some more detail on how you can jump into the free trial for that. But checking out the markets at CoinMarketCap, $4.01 trillion. Total market cap for cryptocurrency asset class as a whole. Fear and Greed Index sitting at a 51, not a bad place to be. The CoinMarketCap 20, the CMC 20, that's the top 20. We're up about a little over 0.5% in the last 24 hours at the time of this recording. Looking at $255.30 on that one. That's a smooth indicator I really like to keep an eye on. It's kind of like your S&P 500 or your Dow Jones Industrial Average, and that is for crypto, the CMC 20. We're looking at the Fear and Greed Index sitting again at a 51, which is a fairly neutral place. Moving up, we want to see us get into a little bit more of that greed, not extreme greed. That is probably signaling more towards the end of the cycle. But then also Altcoin Season Index back up at a 71 out of 100. Seeing the altcoin market cap at $1.71 trillion total market cap. Jumping into a little bit of the technicals here. Looking at XRP, a lot hinges on the overall market sentiment here, because technicals speak for themselves. Sitting at the 1618 on the Fib extension shows that we're right at that $3 support level, looking to move up. But we do see on the RSI, and I don't want to be the bearer of questionable news here, but we do see a downward trend on the RSI, almost forming a cross on the RSI moving average. That could be a slightly bearish signal, but it does look like volume is starting to tick up just a little bit on XRP, and with ETFs launching, that could reverse that trend as a whole. This is the same signal, however, that we are seeing for the overall crypto market. Bitcoin is flashing the same pattern on the RSI there as well. Ethereum, which has come down from the $4,700 mark to sitting at almost $4,500 at the time of this recording. And you can see it a little bit better here on this RSI. And again, I look at the North Stars of the market, look at the big blue chips of the market, right, to guide things where they're going to go. And so what I'm talking about is an RSI, that's this purple line here, crossing downward over its own moving average. And you can see when it does that, it typically forms a bearish momentum. And the inverse of that is obviously when the RSI crosses above its moving average, shows a bullish momentum. And you can see here on Ethereum a little bit more detailed, it looks like it's kind of bouncing right off of it, wrapping right off that and turning back up to the upside. So again, I think the overall market sentiment is where you're going to see the reversal of that trend. Again, not bad trend. There is volume coming in. Jumping across some of the other major players that I keep an eye on just for an overall picture of the market, things like Sandbox, Shiba Inu, Dogecoin, everything's moving in the same direction, right? And this is when you have a market that's sitting on the sidelines looking for that institutional push, looking for retail to come in. And that's quite honestly, that is where we're at. So what are we looking at for the upward trend of XRP here? And this is not blowing smoke. It's not, the $100 price predictions or anything like that right now. I'm a macro view guy by nature. I look at the bigger picture of things, right? Back when XRP was 35 cents, I was like, I don't care about 35 cents. I care about $35, and we're not there yet, right? We're at $3, right? I don't care about $3. I still care about $35 or $300. But in the short term, there is a very strong likelihood that once we break bullish and we break past this $3.50, $3.70 resistance that we'll meet, is that we could run up into that $4.30, $4.50 range. 2618 on the fib extension puts us at $4.66. Ultimately, just continuing that upward momentum. And this is not even taking into consideration any of the ETF news, which could have its own effect on the price as well. Nonetheless, I think that we see a lot of bullish momentum surrounding XRP, surrounding Dogecoin, these ETFs that are coming out. ETFs are not released for something that's just junk, guys, right? At the end of the day, you guys know that none of this is financial advice, simply informational, educational, and some entertainment purposes only, but we are looking at products that have real world utility. Institutions cannot sit on the sidelines anymore. Their customers want access to this. So many that are actually looking at how to move their 401ks and their IRAs into cryptocurrency. And that's where I want to give you this opportunity to listen to this right now.
Do you love crypto, but are you worried about taxes shrinking your retirement nest egg? Here's the deal. Trading and selling crypto can trigger capital gains taxes, eating into your wealth. A crypto IRA fixes that. Per IRS publication 590B, traditional IRA gains like those from crypto aren't taxed until distributed. That's why we've partnered with iTrust Capital, a leading crypto IRA company in the USA, to sponsor today's video. And they offer institutional grade custody for retail clients that want to set up their crypto IRAs for retirement, leveraging top storage solutions like Fidelity, Wells Fargo, and Coinbase Prime to keep your assets secure. To get started, simply click the link in the description of this video, sign up for free, and fund your account with cash. They also offer 401k rollovers or crypto transfers, and you can trade 24/7 with just 1% transaction fees and no maintenance costs. As always, I'm not a CPA or financial advisor, so consult one for tax advice, and we do earn a commission if you sign up using our link below to fund your crypto IRA account, but that helps support value-based videos like this. And iTrust Capital already has over 200,000 crypto IRA accounts and over $14 billion in transactions, proving they're trusted by smart investors just like you. So click the link below, get started now by funding your account today, and let's create generational wealth together.
If you're still looking for a little bit more education, I'm going to encourage you to jump into the link down below to start your free trial for Altcoin Pro University. This is where you're going to get bar none some of the best education that's in the industry, and obviously it's a 14-day free trial, so it's going to allow you to blaze through a lot of these classes on your own and really get your feet wet and get a good feel for it. But this is Altcoin Pro University, where you're going to have a community built into it. Obviously, you've seen some of the news that I've shared with you earlier in this video, but you're also going to see market updates. You're going to see altcoin picks, DeFi yield picks, airdrop picks, etc. And then obviously the classroom, as I just showed you. So if you got questions about technical analysis, crypto, tax, mastery, a lot of people have made a lot of money in crypto and don't know what to do with it, how to deal with the tax implications of that. And that is all at that link below. It's Altcoin Pro University. free trial, but it's 97 bucks a month to throw an expert in your pocket to be able to bring you guys this content. But that is what I've got for you guys in this video. As always, if you gain some value from this, please share it with somebody else so that they can learn as well. Also, give us a like, give us a subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video. Be blessed.